What's going on? It's been a while. I had a couple of things to take care of. Unfortunately, I could not record, but today we're back. So let's get right into it. Now, a while ago, I did a weekly recap video for the NBA and fantasy basketball, and it did okay. I actually enjoyed doing it a lot, and I'm considering doing that more often, maybe as a daily or even a weekly thing. So we're just going to take it from step by step and see how it goes. Before we start, if this is your first time here and you like NBA related content or fantasy basketball, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. So let's start off with the Charlotte Hornets and the Detroit Pistons. The Hornets won 87-76, very low scoring game, very inefficient from both sides. I believe both teams scored very low. Hornets shot 33 of 88, meanwhile the Pistons shot 29 of 82. So no one really shot that well. Let's go with the Hornets. Miles Bridges, he's been having a couple of good games now. He scored 18 points, 7 rebounds, no assists, and 1 steal. Shot pretty good and hit 2 threes as well. He's been picking it up. He started off the season really slow, and now he's doing really well. I would definitely roster him in 12, maybe even 10 if your team is very shallow. Definitely 14-team leagues. Devontae Graham, another pretty good performance. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists. He's been killing it as a playmaker as of late. I think the past few games, all double-digit assists. However, he does not shoot really well. But that's something you could take with Devontae Graham. If you're punting, maybe field goal. 6 of 17, not that good. A little bit above 33%. 1-3, 50% from the line. 2 steals is pretty good, and that block is definitely really good. He did only have 1 turnover, so for the 9 category leagues, that's really helpful. He is a pretty inefficient scorer, but just like Terry Rozier, he gives you a little bit all-around stats. Terry, who had only 11 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, had another very bad game. No steals and no blocks. I definitely like Devontae Graham over Terry Rozier. No one who would have thought that, but PJ Washington, he's been playing pretty poorly in my opinion. He started off the season really hot. I can't see myself rostering him in 12-team league, maybe a 14-team league. Definitely not 10. I guess if you don't have any other options in a 12-man league or a 10-man league, you can go with PJ Washington, but I'm pretty sure there are much better options out there. Only 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 of 10 from the field, no threes, and he only had 1 block, but he did have 3 steals. So defensively, he did pretty good, but maintaining him on the roster spot might be pretty hard for me. Cody Zeller, 6 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. Not the greatest of performances. He did get hurt, I think. He had like cut. He had to go back to the locker room and come back. But pretty average game for Cody Zeller. Now, Malik Monk, he's been playing really well as of late as their 6-man kind of guy. He scored 17 today. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 50% from the field, 2 threes, and 5 of 6 from the free throw line. And even threw in 3 steals. So he's been playing really good. I guess maybe if you need like a streamer for points, scoring, maybe a couple of threes, Malik Monk might be a good addition for a few games. He's really picking it up, getting a little bit more burn out there. I think he got 28 minutes today. Yeah, 28 minutes, and hopefully he just keeps racking up a couple of points. Definitely define that 6-man role to be his. Jalen McDaniels and Caleb Martin, they're also getting a little bit more burn. I believe Dwayne Bacon hasn't played in a couple of days now, which is really surprising. I thought they liked Bacon a lot, but maybe they're leaning toward more of developing Jalen McDaniels and Caleb Martin. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for the rest of the season. Moving on to the Pistons. Thon Maker, 12 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. He didn't hit a 3 this game, but you can live with that. I would say he's been having a pretty good season so far post Drummond. 12 points, 12 rebounds. He'll hit a 3 or 2 here and there. Definitely get a couple of blocks. I think he's been getting like 2 blocks each game. 2 of 3 from the line, not too bad. I do like him. I don't know if he's 12-team worthy. I'd definitely say he's 14-team worthy. I guess you could take a flyer out on him if you have someone to cut. I might consider rostering him in a 12-team league, especially if I need blocks and threes. So he might be pretty good for that. However, the problem with Maker, Henson, Wood, and Morris is they might not get that many minutes. Like Maker got 23, Wood even got 23 yesterday. Let's see, Morris got 20, Henson got 16, Doumbia got 18. So their front court is a little kind of crowded, I would say, which is kind of surprising. Crowded with young players like Wood, Doumbia. Maker, I guess, is pretty young still. All right, but moving on to Christian Wood. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 of 9 from the field, 1 3, and no steals, no blocks. He did start off with 2 fouls early on in the game, but I think he ended the game with just 3 fouls. So he's been pretty good, but one big problem I have with Christian Wood, he's a fantastic player. He's like an analytical machine. He gets you just what you want in a fantasy big. But the issue with him is not really Christian Wood himself. I'd say Dwayne Casey. When Blake Griffin got hurt, I recommended picking up Christian Wood immediately. Him and Doumbia. I actually thought Doumbia was going to be better, but Christian Wood ended up being the better addition. But the thing is, Dwayne Casey, he always has weird rotations, plugs in and out players like Sekou Doumbia, who started a few games, then went to the G League, then came back, then played off the bench and started, now back on the bench. So he's very inconsistent. Now, Wood, I do think he's going to have a really good season, maybe league-winning type season, but if I was able to trade him for maybe a top 50 player, I would definitely have to consider it, depending on how well the player fit my team. Moving on to Brown, 10 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Pretty good overall game from him. However, Luke Kennard's coming back, Derrick Rose is coming back, Mikhailik's coming back. So it's going to be hard for any of these guys to find a lot of shots. Just like Reggie Jackson, 8 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 of 11 from the field, 2 threes, no steals, no blocks. Reggie Jackson's been playing way too good for Reggie Jackson. I don't think he's that good. And again, it helps that D Rose, Kennard, Mikhailik are all out, so maybe. But there's also rumors of him getting bought out and maybe going to the Clippers. Tony Snell, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. And the bench was not really that noteworthy, other than Sekou Doumbia, who had a terrible game, 4 points, 4 rebounds. I'm not really sure what's going on with him, but I actually thought maybe they'd try to play him a couple more since they are tanking officially now. But I feel like Dwayne Casey is really not trusting in him. I think he went out and said something about him in an interview yesterday, not being confident enough or anything, which is probably just going to hurt his confidence even more. So I don't know how I feel about Doumbia. He's been playing terrible and definitely not worth rostering. Now we have the Hawks and the Orlando Magic, who won 135 against the Hawks 126. Trae Young, another crazy good game, 29 points, 1 rebound, 9 assists, just missed that double-double. 3 threes, 12 of 13 from the line, and 7 of 19 from the field. No steals, no blocks, and 4 turnovers. Right now, you already know what you're going to get with Trae. 25 points, 8 assists, I'd say is probably like his floor at this point. John Collins, he did pretty well as well. 22 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. 10 of 14 from the field, which is really good. 1 3, and 1 block. Now, Clint Capella has yet to play, but Dwayne Dedmon, he's been playing amazing recently on the Hawks, defensively at least. He didn't play this game, which is kind of surprising. Jones, he didn't play that much either, 15 minutes for him. So I think they played Colin Moore at the 5 this game, which he probably won't be able to do when Clint Capella really comes back. But it'll be interesting to see how they work out together. They're both really good rebounders, especially on the offense. So I think they're going to take rebounds away from each other and a couple of blocks away from each other. Huerter had 12 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 13 from the field, 2 threes, and no steals and blocks. He did pretty good. Again, very high on the assist side for him. He usually doesn't get that many assists, but around 12 points is what you can expect from him. DeAndre Hunter, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 50% from the field, 2 for 2 from 3, 1 steal, and 1 block. He's a really good defender. I really hope they push him even more, give him a lot more minutes that he can handle, as many minutes as they can handle. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how he grows. He's going to be a really good fit. And the Hawks seem to be really interesting next year, so let's see. Cam Reddish came back, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist in 24 minutes. He'd probably be the biggest threat to DeAndre Hunter and Kevin Huerter's minutes. Vince Carter actually had a pretty good game, 9 points, 3 threes, in 14 minutes. So pretty efficient, quick little 9 points for him. And Jeff Teague also played really well, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 11 assists. So he did really well playmaking when Trey was off the court, and he did that all in 16 minutes, and even threw in a steal and a block. So very good game for Jeff Teague. I'm not sure if I would be able to roster him in a 10-man league anymore. Maybe in a 12-man league, depending on how free agency looks. And probably in a 14-man league, I would roster him. Goodwin, 7 points, 1 rebound. Now, Aaron Gordon for the Magic, he had a really good game. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. He started off the year really, really bad, and it hasn't been that great as of late, but ever since Isaac went down, he's been kind of closer to his numbers from last year. Not there yet, but as of late, he's been playing really good. He even got a block this game, shot well from the field, and hit 2 threes, and made all of his free throws. So, very good game for Gordon. Nikola Vucevic, 24 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, and a block. A near triple-double for him. Very efficient, 10 of 15, even hit 4 threes, but misses only free throw, but you can live with that when you get near triple-double. Evan Fournier, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 9 of 17 from the field, 3 threes, 2 steals, and a block. Pretty good game for Fournier. He's been around, that's about his average, I guess. A little high on the steals and blocks department. He usually isn't that well on the defensive side. And now Markelle Fultz had 13 points, 1 rebound, 8 assists. Pretty good game for him. 5 of 9 from the field, made a 3, 2 for 2, and had 3 steals, which is the biggest beneficiary there. Terrence Ross also had a really good game off the bench, 21 points. I think he made 5 threes. Yeah, 5 threes, 8 of 17 from the field, 1 steal and a block. Really good for him. He started off the season really poorly as well, along with Aaron Gordon. I actually had him early in the season on my fantasy team, and I dropped him. But now he's playing much better, doing really well. Now we have Nets and Pacers. Spencer Dinwiddie actually had a game-winning shot today. 21 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists. He didn't shoot well at all. 4 of 15 from the line, no threes, but did hit 4 of 15 from the field, but did hit 13 of 15 from the line. No steals and 1 block in 35 minutes. Plus, he got the game winner, so you can't argue with that. Very good game. Kyrie's out. He always plays really well with Kyrie being out. Moving on to Joe Harris. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 threes. Pretty good from the field. No steals, no blocks. Especially what you could get from a 3-point specialist. Did pretty good. Prince, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 block. He's actually been having a pretty good year. I think he's learning how to be a power forward more and more as the days go by. So I definitely like Prince in a 12-man league. Definitely 14. And a 10 is where maybe you might want to have a better player, depending on your free agency situation, of course. Jared Allen, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 6 of 9 from the field, and 2 blocks. Pretty good. Caris LeVert actually had a bad game. He's been playing pretty well. I'm not his biggest fan, I would say. I think he plays pretty inconsistently and is always hurt, which really, really holds him back. But as of late, he's been playing pretty well without Kyrie. But I feel like whenever Kyrie comes back, he always kind of falls off a cliff. DeAndre Jordan had 11 points and 19 rebounds, 5 of 7 from the field in 28 minutes. He played a lot more than Jared Allen. He grabbed 19 boards, so that might be why. Had 2 blocks as well, so he had a pretty good game. Otherwise, Garrett Temple and Luau Cabaret, 10 points and 11 points for them. In about 28 minutes for Garrett Temple and 13 minutes for Cabaret. They both did okay, but once Kyrie comes back, a lot of minutes from Garrett Temple is probably going to dip, so I would not be able to roster them in any league. Moving on to the Pacers, Sabonis had a triple-double. First-time All-Star, 23 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, and even threw in 1 steal. He shot really well from the field, 11 of 15, no threes, and hit his only free throw. He's been having a really good season, obviously. First-time All-Star. TJ Warren, 19 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Now, he kind of struggled with fouls this game. He still ended up with 19. He was pretty hot, 8 of 13 from the field, but he didn't hit any threes, and 3 of 5 from the line. Pretty TJ Warren-esque game, I would say. He usually gets around 20 points, pretty good field goal percentage, hits a 3 usually, like about 1 a game, and pretty good from the line, and he usually gets 1 to 2 steals. Now, Miles Turner had 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 50% from the field, 2 threes, 3 of 3 from the line, and 1 steal. He didn't get any blocks, which is pretty surprising. He's been a block machine and been hitting a lot of threes, so that's pretty good. Now, Victor Oladipo got his first start, I believe, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 of 14 from the field, 2 threes, no free throws, in 27 minutes. So that's really encouraging. It's good to see him out there, and hopefully he plays a lot better. Now, Malcolm Brogdon really struggled. 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 of 11 from the field, 0 threes, 0 free throws, 1 turnover, and no defensive stats. He's been really struggling as of late. His numbers have been down all around. Now, with Oladipo back, it's going to be even more interesting to see how he does. They're playing really well through Sabonis. They're going to have the ball in Oladipo's hands more often. So Brogdon might be a trade candidate. I don't know if you could really sell high on him since he's playing low, but I'd definitely still have him on my roster. But if a right move comes along, I might pull the trigger. Doug McDermott had a decent game too, 13 points, 4 rebounds. And Jeremy Lamb also 9 points, 3 rebounds. TJ McConnell 8 points, 2 assists, and 2 steals and 2 blocks, which is pretty good. On to the Timberwolves and the Raptors. D'Lo's first game as a Timberwolf was a loss, 137-126, and Raptors won, I think, 15 straight games. So Karl-Anthony Towns played really good. 23 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, all-around gem from him. Only took 13 shots, which was really surprising, but 5 from 13, 3 threes, and hit 10 of 12 free throws, and 1 steal and a block. So he gets to play with his best friend, D'Lo. He did really well. D'Lo himself had 22 points, 5 assists, 4 threes, 7 of 12 from the field, 4 for 4 from the line, 1 steal. Now, Beasley as well, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Didn't shoot amazing, but pretty good. 5 of 12, 2 threes, and 3 for 4 from the line. It's going to be really interesting to see how D'Lo and Beasley play. In their new system, they're going to live and die by the 3. Beasley and D'Lo really are going to complement each other. Now, they're not the greatest of defenders, but Beasley is a hard-working defender, I guess. He gets a couple of steals. He got 1 this game, and they're going to launch up a lot of three-pointers. So they're going to be in definitely every game high. They're going to have above 100 points, maybe even above 110 for the rest of the year. They hit 75 at halftime again for their second game in a row. And when the trade initially happened, I thought they were a big loser. They had to lose out on Covington. They had to lose out on Wiggins, 3 of their starters, I think. No, 2 of their starters. All for, well, 3 of their starters because they traded away T2, I guess. But he was off their bench. But all for D'Lo, and they got Malik Beasley in return. And I did think he was a big winner of the trade, Malik Beasley, that is. But I didn't think he was going to do this good on Minnesota. Hopefully he continues and could be a nice, strong third option behind D'Lo and Towns. He's a must-add, in my opinion, in every format. 10, 12, and 14, even more, obviously. But, excuse me. Yeah, he's been probably the biggest trade deadline winner, in my opinion, him and Christian Wood. Yeah. Hernan Gomez played pretty good too. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. 6 of 11 from the field, 2 threes, 50% from the line, no steals, no blocks. Starting power forward, played 25 minutes. He did pretty good. However, James Johnson came off the bench, 8.7 rebounds, 3 assists in 27 minutes. I think James Johnson's play is more suited for that power forward position. Now, they may keep him off the bench just to have a little bit of a kick off the bench, I guess, with Culver, Crabbe, and Reed. But I can definitely see James Johnson closing out more games than Juancho. Josh Okogie had a pretty nice game, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 50% from the field, no threes. He's kind of like their defensive anchor, I would say. Definitely their best defender. Yeah, by far, definitely their best defender, but only played 22 minutes. Jared Culver finally had a good game, 15 points, 3 rebounds. In 21 minutes, 1 steal, 1 block. Very well from the field, 2 threes. He's definitely going to be playing off the bench a lot more. They want to try the D'Lo and Beasley backcourt and have Okogie being their defensive stopper out there. But if Culver can string in a couple of good games, maybe he'll overtake Okogie. I don't see him overtaking Beasley at all anymore. But yeah, Allen Crabbe, 8 points, 3 rebounds. Not bad. He only played 16 minutes, which was kind of surprising to me. But Naz Reid, when he was on the court, he played pretty good. 8 points in 9 minutes. Not a big sample size, but he also got a block. He was just, it felt like he was grabbing like every board, but he ended up with only 3 rebounds, which is kind of surprising. The Raptors, Pascal Siakam, 34 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Great game for him. I think he was 6 of 6 to start off the game. I believe he didn't miss a shot till like his 13th shot. But very good game from him. 2 steals and a block. Even hit 6 threes, which might be a career high for him. I don't know. He's not the greatest of 3-point shooters. Kyle Lowry, another amazing game. 27 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists. I think it's his 6th time as an all-star straight in the East. I'm not sure. 4 threes, 5 for 6 from the free throw line. 1 steal and 2 blocks. So very good for him. And OG got 25 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 10 of 13 from the field, 3 threes, 100% from the line, 3 steals, 1 block. Career day for OG, career high in points. It might be a career high in rebounds, I'm not too sure. But he played amazing today, put up a lot of points. He did really well playing off of Lowry and Siakam today, and Van Fleet, of course. But consistency is his biggest issue, I'd say. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson actually got the start at center. Marcus Gasol is not back yet, and Ibaka didn't play. So he did pretty well. 21 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist in 33 minutes. 8 of 13 from the field, 5 of 8 from the line. Now, obviously, you can't expect this from him. Oh, 3 steals as well. Wow. You can't expect this from him when Ibaka and Marcus Gasol come back. They're both playing pretty good. But off the bench, he might be a nice piece. Along with Boucher, who had 6 points, 2 rebounds. This game was mostly for the starters. Terrence Davis didn't play that well in 15 minutes. McCaw had 25 minutes, didn't really even shoot that much either. So they played pretty starter heavy this game. But once Powell comes back, if he comes back this season at all, Marcus Gasol comes back, Ibaka comes back, and they're more healthy, they're going to have a lot more guys out there. Now we have the Bucks, who won against the Kings, 123-111. Giannis did not play this game. He just became a father. Congratulations to him. But Harrison Barnes played really well. He had 20 points at halftime, so it's pretty surprising to see him end with just 23. But he also had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, shot really well, 8 of 13, hit 5 threes, and 100% from the line, even threw in a steal. He's been pretty disappointing as of late. However, I think the past 2 or 3 games, he's been scoring above 20 again. So he's picking it up. Maybe he could heat up and he'll be out there. I would definitely still roster him in 12-team leagues. I don't think he's drop-worthy. Maybe even in a 10-team league. I don't think he's drop-worthy yet. If he picks it up, I would definitely have him rostered in all leagues. Now, De'Aaron Fox also had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists. Really good for him. Double-double. 5 and 19. He didn't shoot really well, like 25%. 2 threes, 5 and 7 from the line, and 1 block. De'Aaron Fox, he's been pretty good overall. Shooting has been down. Hopefully he picks it up, but he's been pretty good. Bjelica, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Pretty good. He's been benefiting so much from Marvin Bagley being out, Richaun Holmes being out. I don't even know who their center is right now, other than Harry Giles, since they traded away Dedmon. Yeah, I don't even know who they played at center. I guess Bjelica played backup center as well. So let's see how many minutes. He only played 33 minutes, so kind of surprising. Bogdan, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He started off pretty slow this game, but he picked it up. 6 of 14 from the field, 2 of 9 from 3, and 100% from the line, and 1 block. Pretty good numbers for Bogdanovic. Oftentimes, he looks like he's the best player on the Kings. Sometimes he looks like pretty bad because he'll have a very bad shooting slump, and it doesn't work out well for him. But him on the starting lineup, I wouldn't say it really has changed his value. I think it's the same with him starting or with him off the bench. Maybe off the bench he gets a little bit more usage, but as a starter it hasn't made any difference. Harry Giles, who I mentioned before, started 8 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 fouls though, which was probably really big for him. 1 steal in 15 minutes. Yeah, he barely got to play. So they definitely went really small ball a lot this game. Let's see. Buddy Hield had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist off the bench in 32 minutes. His minutes are still there. I would say it's been kind of disappointing scoring-wise ever since he took that move to the bench. It's not that the minutes aren't there. He just, I don't know. Something's been off. I think he probably prefers to be a starter and maybe confidence issues. I don't know. The rest of the Kings, Corey Joseph, 9 points, 6 rebounds. Bazemore, 5 points, 4 rebounds. Yogi Ferrell, 2 points and a rebound and assist. Overall, again, they probably relied a lot on their starters. They all seem to have 33 minutes plus, except for Giles when they went small ball with Hield. Moving on to the Bucks. Bledsoe had an amazing game, 28, 8 and 8, 10 of 16 from the line, 3 threes, 5 of 6, 10 of 16 from the field, 3 threes, 5 of 6 from the line, and a steal in 32 minutes. It's not surprising. Whenever Giannis doesn't play, Bledsoe has crazy good numbers. Obviously, usage gets up. His shot attempts go up. I think he averages, 26 or 27 without Giannis. Like 26, 7, and 8 without Giannis. So pretty normal non-Giannis game for him. Middleton also had a pretty good game, near triple-double, 28 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 9 of 21 from the field. Didn't shoot amazing. Actually, shot pretty good. 4 threes and 6 from 7 from the line, and a steal. Brook Lopez also played really well, 20 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He only hit 2 threes, which is kind of surprising, but 7 of 12 from the field, 4 of 6 from the line, and how many blocks? 3 blocks. So pretty good Brook Lopez game. Wesley Matthews didn't do too bad either, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 of 9 from the field, not too bad. Now, Ilyasova, who actually started for Giannis, he didn't play amazing, but 7 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, not bad. Brown, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists in 23 minutes. Also pretty good for him. DiVincenzo had 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals as well. Brown had 2 steals and a block, so that's also really good. DiVincenzo's been playing pretty good as of late. I definitely don't see myself rostering him in a 12-team league yet. Maybe probably in a 14-team league because just the free agency options. Pat Connaughton, 7 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, not bad for him in 25 minutes. So they kind of spread the love out there. It was looking like a blowout for most of the game, but I think the Kings kind of made it a game near the end. So that's pretty good. I'm not sure how long Giannis will be out. Probably just 1 game, maybe 2 games. Now we have the Jazz versus the Mavericks. The Jazz won 123-119. Bojan Bogdanovic played great, 23 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 33 minutes. And Donovan Mitchell also played pretty good, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. They didn't have Mike Conley out there, so that led Joe Ingles to start, 7 points. Well, I think he started without him now anyways, but it gave more usage to Joe Ingles, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. Did pretty well as a playmaker. Unfortunately, he didn't shoot that well, 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3, which was pretty poor. But he did throw in 3 steals, so you can live with that. Now, Joe Ingles, ever since Conley came back, has been a droppable player. Maybe in 14-team leagues, you could still roster him, but in 10 and 12, I wouldn't keep Joe Ingles on my team. Rudy Gobert played amazing, 17 points, 16 rebounds, but only 1 block, but he was perfect from the field, 7 of 7, and 3 of 5 from the line, which is pretty good. He did have 5 fouls, but still played 35 minutes, so really good for him. Royce O'Neal only shot 1 time, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist in 32 minutes. Clarkson has been amazing for the Jazz. Been a solid pickup, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 10 of 17 from the field, hit 4 threes, and a free throw in 30 minutes, and he fouled out, unfortunately, but he did get a block before then. When Clarkson got traded, I thought this was bad for his value. I thought he was going to score less. I thought he was going to have less shots, but he really works for that Jazz team. It's been amazing for them. Mike Conley didn't play again, so he did get a lot more minutes and shots than he would have if Mike Conley was there. even not saying Mike Conley shoots so much, but I don't know. Clarkson's been a great fit for the Jazz. Moody even got some burn, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 8 from the field in 14 minutes. Really good for him, efficiency-wise. Moving on to the Mavericks. Another game without Luka. He might play on Wednesday, so there's looking forward to that. But Tim Hardaway shot out of his mind. 33 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 12 of 18 from the field, 5 threes, 4 of 5 from the line, 1 steal. He played amazing. Porzingis, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal and 2 blocks. 7 of 17 from the field, 3 of 9 from 3, and 11 of 13 from the line. His numbers go up when Luka's not there, obviously, but he plays pretty well without Luka. Just the points go up, I'd say. Dorian Finney-Smith, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, nothing noteworthy. 2 steals and a block. He did pretty good in 35 minutes. Jalen Brunson, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists in 25 minutes. And the biggest, I'd say, addable player on the Mavericks has been Seth Curry. 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 7 from the field, 2 threes, 3 of 3 from the line. He's been playing really well. I actually like Curry playing next to Luka better than I like Jalen Brunson playing next to Luka. I think Curry just fits Luka's playstyle much, much better. And he's been having a pretty good year so far, very efficient. I just think his minutes need to go up a little bit more. He might be worth rostering on a 12-team league and 14-team league. I'm not sure if you could roster him in a 10-team league, though. Willie Cauley-Stein, 8 points, 1 rebound in 4 minutes. That's really surprising. He didn't even have that many fouls. I really was excited to see Willie Cauley-Stein on the Mavericks, but so far it seems it really hasn't been working, or maybe they just want to play Porzingis at center more, or Kleber. But I don't know. I thought Willie Cauley-Stein would have a pretty decent role in Dallas at least, but so far it's been pretty non-existent almost. Now we have Denver Nuggets versus the San Antonio Spurs, 127-120 Denver. DeRozan did not play, so LaMarcus Aldridge obviously had a pretty good game. 33 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 13 of 25 from the field, 4 threes, and 3 of 5 from the line. He continues his amazing season from the three-point line. I think he's still above 40%, which is amazing for him. DeJounte Murray played really well, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 5 of 11 from the field, 1 3 and 3 free throws, and 1 steal. Now, he's been cut in a lot of leagues, I would say, and I definitely think he should be rostered in 12 and 14 team leagues. In a 10-man league, maybe you could make the argument that DeJounte Murray doesn't deserve to be rostered, but in 12 and 14 team leagues, I would definitely have him. The one downside with DeJounte Murray, which was the reason that they dropped him earlier in the season, was the minutes. He was coming off the bench for a little bit. He wasn't getting enough minutes, but now he started again, and he's been playing pretty well as of late. And the biggest flaw in his game, he's an amazing defender, pretty good playmaker. It's just that three-point shot. If he can kind of get that down, he'd be pretty good fantasy asset, I'd say. Bryn Forbes, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 threes, 4 of 6 from the field. Pretty efficient game for him. Trey Lyles, in 28 minutes, had 10 points, 7 rebounds. He's not been the greatest, I would say. Lonnie Walker got the start, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and played 26 minutes. I would have hoped to see him score a little bit more. He's an amazing scorer. When I saw that he started, I was pretty excited. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a good game for him, but it was a little disappointing. He did have 2 steals though. Derek White off the bench in 18 minutes had 15 points and 4 assists. Really good for him. Rudy Gay had 13 points in 16 minutes, and Patty Mills had 11 in 17. So they spread the wealth a lot. They had, 10-man rotation. Everybody got to play 15 minutes, so pretty good for the Spurs. I'm not sure how long DeRozan will be out. I think he's just out 1 game, but moving on to the Nuggets, Jamal Murray had 26, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. Jokic had 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 13 assists, which I think is a season high. He didn't hit any threes, but shot 6 of 8 from the field really well. He was pretty timid. He didn't shoot that much this game, but hopefully next game he does. Yeah, he even threw in a block. Torrey Craig, 11 points, 7 rebounds in 31 minutes, 1 steal, 1 block. And Jeremy Grant, who started over Paul Millsap, I think, had 8 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. I was pretty surprised to see Jeremy Grant start over Millsap. But Millsap only played 19 minutes, but had an amazing game. 22 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals and a block. Really solid game for Millsap. Moving on to Gary Harris. 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, no steals, 25 minutes. Now, I actually had him on my fantasy team, and I actually dropped him. I was holding out hope that he'd finally pick it up. He'd finally shoot better, but he has a really fantasy-friendly game. But I don't know, this year and last year even, he's been pretty dud. But moving on, Monte Morris, 16 points, 4 assists, 6 of 9 from the field, 2 threes, 1 steal in 22 minutes. Really cool. Jordan McRae, new acquisition, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He did pretty well in 16 minutes. Keita Bates-Diop even played 3 points for him in 4 minutes. And Dozier had 18 minutes with 6 points. Will Barton didn't play either. Who else didn't play? Michael Porter is still not back. But the Nuggets are really deep. Yeah, they're really deep. I'm not even sure if McRae might even get any burn whenever they're fully healthy. But I'm not sure when Porter's going to be back. He's definitely a drop candidate in my mind. He was really hyped up when Gary Harris was injured and Jamal Murray was injured, because really the minutes finally came for him. But the minutes usually aren't there for him, and I don't think I could roster him in a 10 or 12-man league. Moving on to the Lakers versus the Suns. Lakers won 125-100. DeAndre Ayton did not play. I don't think Aaron Baines played either. And Frank Kaminsky didn't play. Dario Saric didn't play. So the Suns were really, really down on their bigs. And it's kind of hard to match up with the Lakers' size. AD, Dwight Howard, and McGee. But Miles Bridges had a pretty good game. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal and a block. He's been playing pretty well as of late. He had 4 3-pointers even, 6 of 10 from the field. Chuck Diallo, who actually started for Ayton, had 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 of 9 from the field in 39 minutes. So really good game for him. Solid, like a daily fantasy guy. But when Ayton comes back, Diallo's going right to the bench. Same thing with Baines, Kaminsky. Rubio, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. He only shot 6 shots the entire game, but hit 2 of them, which were threes, and 7 of 8 from the line, and threw in a steal. Unfortunately, he only played 24 minutes, which was kind of surprising. He didn't have foul trouble or anything, but it was just, I don't know, Rubio had a pretty bad game, I'd say. Devin Booker, who had a pretty bad game in regards to him at least. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 of 11 from the field. He shot terrible. Couldn't really get into a rhythm. Had 3 fouls, but not that big of a deal. 31 minutes though. He was just all over the place. He missed a lot of shots. He's gonna pick it back up. I wouldn't worry about Devin Booker. Rubio, however, he has been pretty bad as of late. His assist numbers have been down. His field goal numbers have been down. But I feel like every season he goes through a stretch where Rubio's like this, and then the owner eventually trades him away, and then Rubio plays amazing. I remember one year I traded for Rubio when he was like the worst fantasy player ever, and became a fantasy god by the end of the year. Like, I don't know, it's just a Rubio thing. Carter had 13 points in 19 minutes. Kelly Oubre, who came off the bench this game, I think he missed like the team bus or something like that. He was late. He still played 26 minutes. His fantasy value didn't really get hurt. Only took 9 shots, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. No defensive stats. Ty Jerome, he played okay. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Cam Johnson was actually the one who started for Kelly Oubre and scored 8 points, 4 assists. Any threes? Yeah, he had 2 threes, which is pretty good, and had 3 steals. Obviously, Kelly Oubre should be back to the lineup by like next game. No one else on the Suns bench really did much. Moving on to the Lakers, AD, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and a block in 30 minutes. Shot pretty good from the field. Didn't hit a 3, but shot good from the line as well. LeBron near triple-double, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. He really hasn't had to score as much at all this season. Bradley, 12 points in 22 minutes, not bad for him. Danny Green didn't play that well, 5 points, and same with McGee, 4 points for him in 14 minutes. Rondo, however, played really well, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists in 26 minutes, even threw in a steal. And Dwight Howard also played really well, 14 points, 15 rebounds, perfect from the field, 2 of 4 from the line in 24 minutes. He's been really valuable for them. I think most leagues have him rostered in 12 and 14. And I think in a 10-man league, you can make an argument he doesn't deserve to be rostered. But I think in a 12-man league, he deserves to be rostered. KCP had a pretty good game, 13 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 4 of 7 from the field, and 2 steals. Moving on to Kuzma, 20 minutes for him, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. I think the Lakers really should have moved Kuzma. He does not fit next to AD and LeBron. I don't know. I think they really struck out by not doing that. Maybe they didn't find the trade that they liked, but I think moving Kuzma was, well, Kuzma being their best trade asset, I think Kuzma really could have brought him in a player, and I really think they messed up on that. And last up, we have the Miami Heat versus the Golden State Warriors, which Miami won 113-101. Jimmy Butler came back today, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, a double-double for him, and had 4 steals and a block in 33 minutes. Shot really well, 9 of 15 from the field, 3 of 4 from the line. Duncan Robinson, who's been amazing this season, 17 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 6 of 14 from the field, and 5 of 13 from 3. He's been, I think, making 4 threes for more than a month now, every game. Really incredible. One of the league leaders in three-point makes in the three-point contest. A lot of teams don't have him rostered because he kind of is a three-point specialist. But in a categories league, I would definitely have Duncan Robinson rostered in a 12, 14-man league. Maybe in a 10-man league, you could argue, maybe not. But the 4 threes a game are really valuable. And it's not like he doesn't grab a couple of assists and rebounds here and there. So Duncan Robinson, definitely worth rostering in my opinion. I think he's actually a little under rostered. I think he's like 40% in ESPN. I think he deserves to be a little bit higher than that. Maybe around 50, 60 at least. Adebayo, another nice game, a near triple-double for him. 13 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. 5 of 8 from the field, 3 of 6 from the line, and 2 steals. Derrick Jones Jr. had another start. 8 points, 1 rebound. Perfect from the field, 2 of 2 from the line, and 1 block. Kendrick Nunn had a pretty bad game, rough game. 4 points, 1 rebound, 2 of 13 from the field. Didn't hit any threes, no defensive stats, and only played 23 minutes. Moving on to Jay Crowder, who had his second game in Miami, played really well. 21 points, 8 rebounds, no assists, 6 of 11 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, 5 of 5 from the line, and 3 steals. I would say this is like the same routine with Jay Crowder. He has like 2 really good games and you're like, oh, let me pick him up. And then he just drops the bomb and just plays terrible. Jay Crowder was one of my, throughout the season, I think I picked him up 3 times maybe. And every time whenever he touches my team, he just plays like garbage. I don't know. He's been really inconsistent, obviously. Who else was it? Tyler Herro's out, so there's a couple of shots to go around off the bench for him. Myers Leonard being out really helps him. But until he could do this more often in a consistent fashion, because he is very inconsistent this season, I wouldn't suggest picking up Crowder in a 10-man league. Maybe in a 12-man league, if you have someone to drop, you go ahead and do it. But I would rather wait and see how he does. Goran Dragic, another good game for him. 15 points, 6 assists. 6 of 13 from the field, 1 3, 2 of 4 from the line, no defensive stats. Another solid game from Dragic. He played a lot more minutes than Nunn over here, but probably because Nunn struggled a lot. Kelly Olynyk, another really surprising game for him. 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 11 assists for Kelly Olynyk. Myers Leonard going down has been the biggest beneficiary of him going down has been Kelly Olynyk. And next, I would say would probably be Jay Crowder, but or Derrick Jones Jr. But Olynyk passed amazing this game. He had 1 steal and a block, 2 threes, fantasy gem for Olynyk. I don't think he's roster worthy in a 10 or 12 man league. Definitely in a 14-man league, I would definitely roster him. Iguodala, 2 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 16 minutes. Fantasy wise, not really that relevant. He's more of an NBA real life player kind of guy. Playoffs for sure. Playoff Iguodala is a whole different animal, but that's why he drafted him, for the playoffs, not for now. So I'm not sure when Harrell will be back, but probably after the All-Star break. I can't see him being out for that long. Moving on to the Warriors, Lee had 26 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist in 30 minutes. He hit 5 threes, which is pretty good. 7 of 12 from the field. Wiggins had another pretty good game. I would have liked to see him get more shots up. He only took 14, which is kind of low in my mind for him, for being the #1 option by far. He had no steals and no blocks, but hit 2 threes, 4 of 6 from the line, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. I want to see him like shoot 20 shots a game on the Warriors. Marquise Chris, another good game for him. 17 points, 9 rebounds, 5 of 10 from the field, no threes, 7 of 9 from the line, 2 steals and 1 block. Marquise Chris is someone I would pick up in a 12-man league or a 14-man league. Unlike Jay Crowder, who's been inconsistent all year long. Well, actually, kind of like him. Marquise Chris has also been inconsistent, but he seems to have carved out a nice role for him now. I think this is his 3rd or 4th or maybe even 5th straight good game. So he's building up that trust within me, I'd say. Draymond Green, 5 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, near double-double for him, 1 steal and a block. He's been pretty bad scoring-wise, but defensively and distributing and rebounding, you get what you get with Draymond. You know what you signed up for, and even though he's been having a pretty disappointing season in my eyes, he's been pretty good. Jordan Poole played pretty well too. 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists in 30 minutes. Kai Bowman struggled heavily. He only played 15 minutes. 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists for him. Poole and Bowman are like interchangeable. I think they'll like alternate having good games. I think Kai Bowman is set as a starter, but I think Poole is the better player overall. Eric Paschall had an okay game, 9 points, 1 rebound in 16 minutes. I thought he would play a lot more minutes now that Warriors are like in full tank mode. I actually expect him to start over Damian Lee for the rest of the year, but maybe they just want to keep Paschall as a power forward instead of small forward. The rest of the Warriors didn't have really any noteworthy performances, but Paschall did have 2 steals, which was pretty good. He is rostered in most leagues. However, I would not be able to roster Paschall solely because he doesn't get enough minutes. Now, if Draymond Green were to be shut down or Wiggins were to be shut down, Paschall would be a must-add, like 100% owned. But until that moment, I don't know. I can't see myself rostering Paschall in a 10 or 12 team league. So that's all for this recap video. I know I missed a couple of days, but now I'm back, good to go. If you guys like this recap video, please do let me know down below so I know you guys are enjoying it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss out on the future videos. And hopefully we'll be making this a more regular thing than just once in a while.